Back to the Supreme Court's agenda today. The justices will hear two legal challenges today against President Biden's plan to forgive student loan debt for more than 40 million Americans. Opponents say he's taken presidential powers too far and the program is on hold until a decision is made. So let's bring in CBS News chief legal correspondent Jan Crawford for a closer look at today's arguments. There are actually two cases, and Jan will sort of flesh this out because the one case says he's gone too far. The other case says he's not gone far enough. What are the questions before the court, Jan?
Well, they both are making the argument that the Biden administration and President Biden, when he said he was going to kind of cancel a lot of the student loan debt in this country, didn't have the authority to do that. And he didn't go about doing it the right way. Of an issue this significant involving $500 billion in potentially canceled debt, Congress had to be involved. So both groups are making that point, that President Biden was off on a trip of his own and he didn't have the authority to do this. The other issue, though, that the court's got to resolve before they even get to that is whether either one of these groups have the legal right to be in court in the first place. Do they have any standing, as the legal term, to file these lawsuits, and are they asking the right questions? So there's kind of that threshold issue first, whether or not they're even going to get out of the blocks here. And if they do, then the court will take up that bigger issue of whether the administration has the power to do this without getting approval from Congress. Like you said, it's over 40 million people potentially. The Congressional Budget Office has estimated it will cost upwards of $430 billion to do this. So big issues and certainly financially, not only for the bottom line, but for a lot of these people here today. I don't know if you can hear the crowd.
Yes, we can.
There's a huge turnout of students. Yeah, a big turnout of students. They've been here all morning. Many of them got here last night, camping out, trying to get a line in line, try to get inside the courtroom. And now we have, you can hear the students now making their case that this program should be defended at all costs.
The classic chant, hey, hey, ho, ho.
Yeah, we hear it loud and clear. So, Jan, one of the cases, as you know, was brought by 6 GOP-led states. The other is being bankrolled by a conservative group called the Job Creators Network Foundation. What can you tell us about that organization and specifically, I guess, why it's getting involved in this case?
Oh, well, often you have groups like that, kind of from the outside, who have an interest in some of the issues at stake, kind of helping get the litigation to the Supreme Court. They'll find plaintiffs who want to challenge it, who are against it, and then they'll kind of coordinate that, and then they get a lawyer to represent them. So that's really what this group has done, no different than a lot of the other outside groups that try to get issues before the Supreme Court, because it's hard, obviously, for your regular citizens sometimes to do that. This group in specific, like you said, it's a conservative group. I think they've been around I think they were actually founded by the guy who founded Home Depot, starting in the early 2010s. They are supporting small business. They support tax cuts. I know they filed a challenge against President Biden's COVID mandates for businesses. So they're kind of focused on how that would affect business and the bottom line. But yeah, conservative group. And we see that sometimes in some of these cases where you'll have kind of outside groups helping funnel some of the litigation to the Supreme Court, challenging various policies, whether on the left or the right.
So for some people, it may have been a while since they've had to make a student loan payment because we had this moratorium because of the pandemic. And I'm sure there are a lot of crossed fingers hoping that either, a portion of their loan will be forgiven or all of it. But here's the thing with these decisions. When will we hear from the Supreme Court? Because usually we don't hear from them until, it's the end of the term.
Yeah, and I would expect, so the most controversial cases always take the longest, right? And this is potentially one of those. So I would expect that we won't get a decision until the very end of the term, which is at the end of June. And so what that means is if you've had a pause in your student loan payments, you've got until at least 2 months after that. Let's say that the court rules against the Biden administration, those payments will have to resume 2 months after this case is kind of resolved. Now, if the court rules in favor of the Biden administration, then that's a whole other issue and you don't have to worry about it. But that's the timing of this case also could affect when those payments have to resume, because they've been on pause, like you said, because of the pandemic.
All right, Jan Crawford for us at the Supreme Court. Jan, as always, we thank you.